Right guys, welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to elaborate on a video which I did in fact make yesterday, or was it the day before? I can't really remember. It was basically my Premier League predictions video where I predicted 3 teams to get relegated, and that's mainly what I wanted to talk about in this video. Mainly to elaborate on my thoughts, because I think it could be confusing on why I said, well, especially one team to get relegated, and the reasons why I think all 3 teams will get relegated. Again, it's boiling in here, so I'm sorry if I look super sweaty or anything. It's just absolutely boiling, but I'm trying my best to keep uploading daily. I'm quite ill as well. This heat has not done anything for my health, but yeah, I'm still trying to do my best and upload as much as physically possible. So yeah, let's get into the video. So to start off with, I wanted to talk about a team that I put in bottom place in the Premier League ranking video, where I did my Premier League prediction. If you didn't see that, you can go and watch it now. It's still on the channel right now. It's yesterday's video, in fact. And I just wanted to talk about Bournemouth, especially first. I just don't think their team's good enough. That's like my main reason, you know. Like, Bournemouth are a small market team, which don't really... When you think of a Premier League team, Bournemouth is not the team you think about, right? And they've done really well to get to this position. And I think some people, when I said that statement, thought that I was mocking Bournemouth because they're a small team, and I was only in it for the big boys that win every single season and stay in the league every single season. But it's not necessarily true. It's also the fact when I watch Bournemouth on TV, the camera angles from their stadium are absolutely dreadful as well. Honestly, they're all... I'm joking. But that's not the reason why. It's just I don't think their defence is good enough. Like, they just haven't got any centre-backs. Like, I swear they have one centre-back, which is a starting centre-back. I can't remember who they had last season, but it wasn't a great defence to start off with, in my opinion, and I just don't think there's any chance for them. I think they are literally, like, they're going to be dead last, and I don't think they're going to leave last position all season. I'd be surprised if that team was out of the relegation zone for any period of time next season, like, other than when they haven't played any games, but that's the only way I can see them not being in the relegation zone, is they haven't played any games, because this team just isn't going to score the necessary goals. They have no real proven strikers in the league. It's not like when they were in the league last time and they had Callum Wilson playing. He was a recognised Premier League striker, and we've seen that carry on at Newcastle. We've seen Dominic Solanke do awful. Even in the Championship, he used to do awful. He had a good season last season, bearing in mind, and maybe he's matured a bit, but I just don't see how this team are going to make it out, because they're not very good, and they're just not very good, right? I just don't think they're very good, and I'm sorry if you don't agree with me, right? But I just think that every team in the Premier League has, even the worst teams like Leeds are better than them, even Fulham's better than them. Like, they have better recognised players than Bournemouth do. I don't think Bournemouth have really any recognised Premier League players, which isn't always a bad thing. Like, we've seen Brentford come up with no recognised Premier League players, but then over a season they start to struggle. These teams that don't have recognised players in the Premier League, a lot of them run off adrenaline, and we saw that with Brentford last season until you saw Christian Eriksen come in, for example, who kind of changed the dynamic of Brentford and made them a more competitive and well-rounded team, because he gave some extra creation to that team in general, which really helped them secure their place within the Premier League, which is a main reason why they stayed up, in my opinion. I saw a lot of people saying that they think Fulham actually could stay up this season. I just don't see it. I just don't see Mitrovic scoring over 10 goals this season. I just don't see them doing that well. Like, Mitrovic is a good striker in the Championship, but we can say this for a lot of strikers. Like, Dwight Gale's a good Championship striker. Like, Dwight Gale used to be amazing in the Championship, and he'd come up and just be absolutely awful. And it is kind of the same thing for Mitrovic. We see this a lot with Championship players. They're too good for the Championship, but not good enough for the Prem. And I just don't think it's going well for him this season. He didn't do that well last time he came into the Prem, and he just hasn't really had a good Premier League season either in the last couple of years. Like, I can't remember the last time that he had a good Premier League season, and it's just hard for me to see them staying up without, I don't know, because it's basically a lot of the same team as last time they were in the Prem, but they don't have Lookman, they don't have Carvalho, They've lost a lot of players in the last couple of years, and even though they stormed the Championship, the Premier League is a different beast. We've seen this multiple times with Norwich, where you come up dominating the Championship, and because you dominate the ball so much and play a certain way, it means that you're not going to be able to do that in the Prem, and that means you're either going to have to change the whole way you play, or you're going to have to stick to your guns like Norwich do and try and play good football. And a lot of times that doesn't work out for you very good in the Prem. Like, you can beat some good teams playing that type of way, but you won't stay in the league playing that type of way, especially with that quality of players, in my opinion. Now, moving on to Everton. Now, Everton are the one that people probably would be most interested in why I said they're going down. It's mainly Frank Lampard, in my opinion. I just don't rate him as a manager, and a lot of people would say that's not fair because he did quite good at Chelsea. I understand he did quite good at Chelsea for the situation he was in, but he's just not proven to me that he can keep a team up in a relegation battle. I know he did it last season, right, so he's kind of proved it, but when he has a full season with this team, they weren't very good when he first came in. Like, everyone thought they were done, and well done to the team and mainly the fans for keeping them in the league, because that's what kept them in the league, was the fans like supporting them and giving them everything they had. You've just lost Richarlison. Like, where are the goals coming from? Like, Damari Gray, Andros Townsend, Calvert-Lewin, who's always injured. Like, can you count on these players to score the amount of goals needed to keep you lot in the Premier League? In my opinion, I'd say no, but it depends on whether they make signings, right? Because their defence isn't the worst thing in the Premier League, right? They just signed James Tarkowski as well, so I think their defence will be fine. It's just whether everything else, like scoring goals, can work in this team. Calvert-Lewin is a major concern because I feel like he's just going to get injured again, and if he gets injured again, I don't know what's going to happen with his career, because at this point you've had so many injuries that have kept you out for so many games that teams just aren't going to want you because you've done that for so long. And I know it's not his fault. It's completely not his fault. Like, I've been through injuries as well, and you really want to play. Like, I've wanted to play any kind of sports for 9 months after I tore my ACL, but you just can't do it. And it's not his fault, but it could get to the point where teams just don't want to deal with that, paying him loads of money and him just not being fit to play. And I just think the combination of the lack of goal scoring ability, especially with Richarlison gone, and the fact that teams just are better than them. Like, they've got a decent defence, Everton do, and if they can play the right way, then they do have a chance of staying up. I just don't see Frank Lampard keeping them up. And like I said in my previous video, it could be a thing of, if Frank Lampard gets sacked and they bring a quality relegation battling manager in, then I think that they can stay in the league. But this could be one of the worst shouts in the league and they could come like 10th, or it could be one of the better shouts because a lot of people think, well, they're improving a little bit, Frank Lampard with a full season. But I don't think Frank Lampard's going to do any better than any of these other managers did, which is just an opinion, and it's just, I'm speaking my mind on this because I thought it was a topic which I could expand on and talk a bit about in a video anyway. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the video. I'm sorry for another short one today. It's just boiling. Like, absolutely ridiculous how hot it is today. I'm trying my best, but I need to wait until it cools down a bit where I can make the videos that I've been planning for ages, but they just take weeks to, like, not weeks, but they just take hours to film. And in this heat, in this room, it's just not feasible right now. So I'm going to keep pushing through, keep making the videos I want to make and interesting topics I want to talk about. But I have got some good videos coming on different topics around football, and hopefully when the Premier League starts again we can start talking about games that are happening in the Premier League as well, which will be fun as well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to when the Premier League is back as well. So anyway, guys, if you have watched this far, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Thank you.